Hickok 45 here, your internet shooting companion, coming to you from the beautiful hills of Middle Tennessee. Yes, Tennessee, the home of Dolly Parton, Alvin York, Davy Crockett, all kinds of interesting people and mountain men and mountain women, I suppose, right? Yeah, good to be with you. Glad to see you. You know, I usually pick up something from the reloading room here. This is hanging just off a camera over there. Been hanging on a nail for a decade or two. One of John's little toy guns. I got him when he was a little guy, really little guy. And kind of like a Model 29 Smith & Wesson. He really liked this. It used little ring caps and forgot how. Oh yeah, it's like a Schofield. I forgot. Yeah, open up like that, and it's all corroded now. But anyway, such a horrible father. Bought him a toy firearm when he was young. Isn't that horrible? That's just awful, isn't it? Wow. Well, you know, I did think about it. I almost sounded like one of those far left anti-gunners sometimes. I was fearful that I would sound like one when he was young, really young. For a while, I did go through a period where I wasn't sure. Maybe I ought to give him toy guns and, you know, lots of toy guns. One of my concerns was he'd get in the habit of just pointing them at people and that kind of thing, because I knew he would be introduced to firearms, real ones, at an early age. How did I know that? And so that put it in a little different place than a lot of kids. I mean, he was born, born in Vanderbilt, but he was raised within 20 yards of a shooting range where he slept, okay? and would be shooting early on with me. I knew that. And so that's the only reason that I was a little apprehensive about it, you know, and it was a little while before I gave in to him. But I did teach him not to point them at people, because he was using real guns, and he didn't run around, you know, he wasn't raised in a neighborhood where he ran around with kids like I was, shooting each other with caps and all that kind of stuff anyway. So that was never really an issue, but because he was able to hold a gun on the range, you know, as soon as he could put his hand on it, just to get him indoctrinated early, or taught early. Started the responsibility, you know, teaching and showing him what a real gun was like, what it felt like, and the damage, you know, it could do early on. So cap guns were not a big part of his childhood, but anyway, that's one of them hanging there. I thought you might like to see that. I'll keep it safe, not shoot you with it, okay? Anyway, welcome back. I'm back in the reloading room. I know I've been remiss again. And part of it is the fact that it's a video thing, and it's a little more involved to set it up, whereas, as I've said before, I can just take my recorder and record when I just yak. It's a whole lot easier, but then again, I've just been lazy and haven't gotten kind of cleaned up a little bit and got the lights out and all that. So, you know, we're not big into production craziness. If you've ever seen a movie cut or music video or anything like that, little segments of it, all the lighting and the setups, and many of you do videos yourselves, and you do a lot of editing, and you have to do that. You're not fortunate enough to have John around, right, with a camera, the pro. So you know what I'm talking about. You know, just to do something simple like this is not all that simple, to get the lighting up and all that silly stuff, you know. When you're outside, it's just, yeah, you don't have to worry about lighting and all that, other than maybe too much lighting or something, or irregular lighting. And, of course, you know you want to see my face very clearly, right? That's the main reason you come to see me and listen to me, right? Because I am so handsome. So what was I going to say? Did I have anything worth even talking about? You know, why did I even go to all this trouble? I don't know. Probably to most people it's not. Again, if you're new, yeah, this is by request. People, a certain percentage of viewers, our video viewers, wanted to hear more about the stupid stuff I do, and just something besides firearms. And we do have a lot of new people, a big influx here lately, so we'll talk a little bit about that. So again, I want to mention that early on. This is just something extra we do. There's always one or two people, you know, they'll leave a comment. Oh, I wanted to see a gun. Well, you know, yakking. Who wants to hear you yak? Yeah, well, a lot of people don't. You're right, buddy. Go away. You're just a click away to escape, you know. So this is, again, just for people that are strange enough to want to watch it and listen to it. All right. So maybe you get to know a little bit more about me, that you'd rather not know, you know, that sort of thing. probably we end up with a lot of people unsubscribing, after these. So anyway, yeah, there are quite a few people and that are new recently because of recent events, shootings, events, killings. Really, they're killings. They're not shootings. These people are murderers. They're not gunmen. You're a gunman. I'm a gunman. I'm a gunman. I'm a man, and I shoot guns. I'm a gunman. It's an insult, really, to all of us who enjoy firearms to call those people that shoot up a room. Most of them are terrorists, or all of them of a sort are a terrorist, right? Whatever their motivation. So, they're killers, they're murderers is what they are. But the media likes to stick that word gun in there. And if at all possible, they want to be even more specific, don't they? Notice your local news. What do they always throw in there? Like it matters, like they're shooting enthusiasts or something. So a man was shot by a semi-automatic pistol on the north side of town. Oh, really? A semi-automatic pistol? Oh, yeah, that's interesting. He sure wasn't a lever gun. Sure wasn't a revolver. How many shots was it? What caliber? What model was it? Let's just go into more detail. No, they know that semi-automatic is a buzzword, don't they? So they love that. They love that. But anyway, we do have lots of new people coming in. Well, every day we have, for whatever reason, a lot of new subscribers. But it's it's been doubled over the last couple of weeks because of recent events. A lot of people, and it's a great thing. Not because we make a few more pennies on views, but because we're glad to have you, and we're happy to see the light go off, in a lot of people's heads. I never really thought I'd buy a gun. Maybe I should, just in case. Looks like maybe my government really can't protect me totally. Maybe I can't protect myself, but at least I might have a chance, a fighting chance. We're not trying to be Rambo. Gun owners aren't. I mean, 99.9%. There's always a couple of Rambos in any group. But, we just like to be able to take care of ourselves if at all possible, So anyway, that light has gone off for some more people, another big wave of people. You see it in the gun shops. You see it not just because it's Christmas season and the fall, which is usually a good time for firearms, purchasing and firearms business, but it's big again. And didn't think we'd see this big a wave again after the big wave a year or so ago. So there are a lot of new people, a lot of new viewers, a lot of new subscribers. So again, welcome to the channel. Hope you have found something worthwhile. Probably not this, but hopefully you have found some useful videos. And I have heard from a lot of you. So I do know there are a lot of you that have found us in searching. So it's kind of neat, and people, might be 45 years old. I think I will get a gun. I wonder what would be a decent one. Somebody mentioned an LC9 or something, or a Ruger SR this, or a Glock 21 or Glock 23. What is that? I heard my buddy saying he had one of those. I wonder what it is. He Google it up, or go to YouTube and search, and you might see my ugly face, or some other gals that do a similar thing. So hopefully you're getting some decent information. If you are brand new to firearms, there's a lot of stupid stuff out there, just like with anything else. Don't be put off by it. A lot of testosterone out there, in the gun world and in any world. And some people are just kind of fooling around, having fun. Keep that in mind. People who are really into the firearms hobby, like myself and John, we do just have some fun with it, because to us it's like a baseball. It's like golf or something. So yeah, we take it very seriously, the safety aspects of it and everything, but also we have fun. We shoot up some watermelons occasionally and just have fun. We might even do a drive-by, right? You ever seen one of those? Oh man, I'll have to tell you about that bicycle drive-by sometime. Kind of interesting dynamic there with that was a little bit of a surprise. But anyway, we have a little fun. But a lot of what we do at this channel is hopefully educational at some level. Okay, at some level. We don't have a lot of drama. If you're looking for drama, other than some superb acting on occasion, right? like saving some young lass in the woods from a zombie, if you've seen that one with Destiny or something. Yeah, incredible acting skills, right? We have a little fun, but mostly it's firearms reviews, and and as I tell all of you regular viewers that we appreciate you for a lot of reasons. One thing I think you deserve a pat on your back from me, from yourself, is just the fact that you do watch our videos. Some of you regular viewers and watch the entire videos. I can see from the comments, and a lot of them are 20 minutes long, 30 minutes long. And because, I don't make this gigantic effort to be dramatic or edgy or extra cool or cool at all, right? I don't even, if I ever catch myself trying to be cool, I'll probably hit myself, So for that reason, I think you're to be commended, because this at this place, at this channel, yeah, we have some cool guns, and they are the stars of the videos. The firearms are the celebrity, and we focus on them mainly and a little bit of fun. So anyway, long way around the barn to say that we appreciate you all, especially because you appreciate boring stuff, right? Lack of drama. So you new shooters, you new people to the firearms world, maybe you're just now starting to shop, that thing, it's a great hobby. Now, you're maybe coming to it because, kind of a scary world out there. Maybe it's a little scarier than I thought. Maybe it's a little more dangerous than I thought. I always thought my brother-in-law was a little paranoid. Maybe he's not entirely. Maybe he is paranoid. But maybe there is actually a little foundation, a little basis for some of that paranoia. Bad things can happen to good people, and you just don't know. And it'd be nice to have an opportunity to maybe stop it, prevent it, to mitigate. And that's the thing. You can't stop these crazy gun-free zones and places where somebody really wants to plan to kill a lot of people. It's probably not going to be stopped entirely. But what if it's 4 people instead of 20? That's, let's do the math, 16 families who are not suffering this incredible loss, and all the members of those families, the extended family. So even one person, 10 people are saved, whatever it is. We don't know those people usually, so they're just numbers to us. But when you start thinking about the people in those rooms, like in San Bernardino, wherever, or Paris, or wherever you want to talk about, they're real people like you and me, and they were sitting having dinner the night before talking about their plans for the weekend or something, and all of a sudden they're massacred. So again, I don't want to get morbid, but that has caused some people to come to the firearms world, recently. Or maybe to purchase different firearms. Maybe you had a little firearm and I think I am going to get an AR-15. I used to think those were crazy. But now my government's trying to keep me from buying those. They act like they're evil things. And I know lots of people with them. My brother-in-law, my brother, my dad, whoever has those. They're not evil. They're fun to shoot. I think I better buy one before someone tries to outlaw the stupid things, or limit my access to them. So there's lots of reasons people come to the firearms world, when these kinds of things. And it's not just this, it's just a constant flow, of course, of people discovering the hobby. It's fun. Firearms are mainstream now. There are so many people into the hobby and the sport that, I don't know, hardly anybody in any family is not going to be aware of somebody in the family or a friend or an in-law that's not into firearms, and so a lot of people are exposed to it now and contemplating it. Anyway, we welcome all of you, and hope you come and watch some videos. If you're really new, we've got a video. I'm bad about the playlist. Most of the videos are not in playlists, except for some of the FAQ videos go through those. Most of the fundamentals videos are. There's a playlist called Shooting Tips, and the people they're old, but people find those useful. They go to those called Shooting Tips. The new shooters video kind of sums up some stuff and my philosophy about some of that, and some of this gun safety videos. If you don't know how to search a YouTube channel, this one or another one, go to our FAQ video number 54. We filmed that at Monument Valley. Not that it had to be filmed at Monument Valley, but anyway, we give you little tips about how to search a channel. You can find out anything on any YouTube channel. So anyway, welcome to the fold. Lots of good stuff out there, lots of good information. You apparently did not fall for the BS from the politicians, and that's why you are contemplating getting a gun, or you just bought one, and glad you're here. Speaking of guns, I have a cap gun, of course. A little more insight, especially for new people. I like all sorts of firearms, and this is one that we made a couple of videos with, and a lot of you are thinking, oh, it's about time. You might have seen the Facebook posting. I posted a picture of it. Yes, the FN PS90. It's a pretty interesting little gun. I don't like bullpups so much. I'm not crazy about bullpups, but this thing is hard to hate. It is hard to hate. I will tell you. Yeah, some people will call it a pipsqueak cartridge and all that, but it's used by a lot of folks around the world and our own Secret Service with more powerful ammo. But it's interesting firearm, so you can watch for videos on that. It's a interesting little gun. I enjoyed shooting it. John and I both did. We had a lot of fun with that. It's on loan from a local Native American, as I said in the video, and it's due to be returned. I'm going to return it tomorrow, I think. But again, to show you how crazy I am, I tried to bring a firearm or two out. I enjoyed that a lot, but guess what else I have? An iron frame Henry, compliments of Henry repeating arms. And is that a beauty or what? That's hard to see here, but you'll see it in the video soon. If I had to choose between the two, this would be my choice. All right. I do enjoy all sorts of firearms, and boy, there's nothing like a lever gun. Nothing like a lever gun. And this is essentially the first successful lever gun. Okay. There were some others, and the volcanic and different things, but this was the one. 1860. I was there. I used it in the Civil War. One just like it. It wasn't quite as shiny, and it wasn't as clean. But I like all kinds of firearms. That's the cool thing about the hobby and the endeavor. You got the self-defense aspect of it, which we all respect and take advantage of, most of us, depending on where you live and all that. But there's just such a wide range of firearms out there. But anyways, I was saying you didn't fall for the BS, and if you're new, so we appreciate and we compliment your intelligence. Politicians, there's some good ones, but they're so self-serving, aren't they? Oh, the agenda, it's so clear. I mean, you almost want to gag just listening to most of them, right? It's just and they're always, of course, prepared to take advantage of a crisis. And as sad as some of the recent events are, I've been, in general, impressed with people, because the more some politicians talk about gun control, and they really mean people control, right? The more people are buying guns. Most people are not being fooled. Most people have figured out there are so many millions of people with carry permit now. So many millions of people into the hobby. So many millions of guns out there. Between 300 and 400 million is the estimate. It may be more than that. I mean, people are buying so many guns. I mean, it was one stat. There's lots of statistics, and you want to look at the FBI statistics. Look at real ones. This isn't stuff made up by some gun rights organization. You can look at the crime stats from the FBI. Crimes are going down. Violent crime with guns, and that's according to the FBI. That's not according to NRA members. But gun ownership is skyrocketing, and has, for 10, 20 years. But there was a million, a million NICS checks, instant background checks, over a period of, I don't know, the last, just weeks. So, I mean, there's another million guns out there in civilians' hands, like every few weeks, I guess. I mean, it's just incredible, the number of firearms. Now, some people would just want to cry when they hear that, think how horrible that is. Anti-gunners are not making any progress at all. And they're not. Well, on the Black Friday, the figure came out in the newspapers. It was oh gosh, I've lost that stat. I had that in my head, talked about it. Now I forget what the number was. It was, oh man, what was it? It was an incredible number of background checks on that one day for firearms. And that doesn't even reflect all the firearms that were bought, because in some states you don't have to do that if you have your carry permit. And of course, if you buy 2 or 3 on the same sheet, it's one check and all that. So incredible number of guns were purchased on Black Friday. And it's just, I was in gun shops today and yesterday, and they're all full of people, man. They're buying guns. So again, to me, that's a good thing. The more people that have firearms, the more firearms that are out there, the more mainstream it is, and the harder it is to fool people into thinking that guns are just inherently dangerous. There are some people who are inherently dangerous, but guns are not violent. There's no such thing as gun violence or gun kindness. That's one of my phrases you get tired of hearing. But there's no more gun violence than there is gun kindness. We're personifying an inanimate object, and we all know that, and we get tired of hearing those stupid phrases, don't we? And they're not working. That's the beauty of it. Oh, they're working with a few people, there's low info people, non-thinking people who haven't had a critical thought in their brain, since they were born. I mean, no critical thinking skills at all. Most people are just not fooled by it anymore. So that's a good thing. That's a good thing. So keep your logic going. As long as you're logical about things, as long as we all are logical and not basing all of our decisions and our thoughts on emotion, we can't be fooled. Can't be fooled. So anyway, getting into a little politics there, but that's the kind of thing on this I do. We don't get into that in our gun videos or shooting videos. That's one reason for this, for you new folks. One reason that I do these is to talk about almost anything, right? Because when we're doing a firearms thing, even though pretty relaxed and whatever, it's about that firearm. It's about the firearm. So I don't launch off into 49 different topics very much, when we're doing a firearm. But in here I can, and this is not about firearms really. We're not doing a gun review, even though I'll usually show a gun or two. It's going to be about other boring stuff, And again, we flipped the switch on our YouTube channel to where now it's not required that you watch any of the videos. Really, it's not. It's not required. It's not mandatory. So if there's a hater in their audience here, a troll, an anti-gunner, really, you don't have to watch. It's so cool. Whereas before you had to, now you don't have to. It's neat. So it's amazing when you see a troll comment like, why would a video bother you if you don't have to watch it? Yeah, so you're just really revealing your own, envy or brainlessness or whatever. You could click out. So yeah, these are kind of boring. I just talk about very different things. Well, before I leave, I guess the new shooter stuff, if you are really brand new, because I feel like that's one of the things, that's one of the reasons I started doing this, and John and I, to just pass along some information, because we've been shooting our whole lives. I've been shooting for over 50 years and various guns, and I have I have the sickness badly because I like all sorts of firearms, from muzzle loaders to 22s to high-tech newer guns. And I just enjoy them all. And so I have a lot of experience. I have decades of experience with a wide variety of them. And so I just thought, I could share some of that, whatever information I have, some of my biased opinions. And so I feel obligated to do that when I have the opportunity outside a gun review. And what I was just going to say is, if you're really brand new to firearms, any of you're not, if you're relatively new, just relax about it. It is kind of a jungle out there. It's difficult. I know it'd be like going to shop for a computer if you didn't know anything about a computer or a camera or whatever. Some gun shops are not as friendly as others, and if you go to a gun show, it's a great place to see a lot of firearms, but sometimes the vendors at the gun shows are even less friendly than some gun shops. gun shops have gotten better, I think, about that. It's a competitive business. And most of them now are stocked with more professional employees, is my impression, the larger gun shops. And small ones too. It just depends. It's totally random, isn't it? But it is kind of a jungle, and it's hard to know. You're not even sure what questions to ask yet. I know. But just take it slow. Do a lot of research. Ask a lot of questions. Look around a lot. Again, use YouTube, use the internet, and you'll become semi-knowledgeable about certain firearms before you even go into a gun shop. Now, while I'm talking about that, look at the little numbers up there at the subscribers. You notice we have 1.7 million, and then a lot of followers on the Facebook, and of course those overlap. But I get so many messages I can't answer them. Can't answer them all. I answer some of them. So don't be offended now if you don't hear back from me, because I can't be the Ask Jeeves of the firearms world. That's just that. The information that we're putting out there is in the videos primarily. And anything else that you hear, or if I do answer a question, or you see me answer a comment, that's just something I find time to do sometimes. But I can't sit at the computer all day, and that's what I'd have to do to answer everybody's questions. Or I couldn't be myself. I couldn't shoot and do videos and get ready for videos and that sort of thing. So I'd become a computer nerd, sitting at the computer trying to answer questions about guns. And I might not know anything about guns because I forgot all I knew about them because I haven't had time to get on the range and shoot some of them and try out some new ones. So, but anyway, just ask around and search, and we answer most questions, most of the obvious questions about a lot of the popular firearms. It's in the videos. Now, granted, we have longer videos. You got to, take some time. And whatever gun you choose today will not be your favorite gun in 6 months, I guarantee you. You'll go through a process of evolution I've talked about before. And I do it myself. I change carry guns frequently, not dramatically. I'm kind of a Glock guy for my carry guns. And I fluctuate, lately more 9mm. And so on any given day, I will have either a Glock 19, a Glock 26, or Glock 43, or a Glock 42 on me. Really. I mean, it'd be one of those four probably, most likely these days. Okay. In other words, all sizes of the same thing, depending on what I'm wearing and where I'm going, what mood I'm in. But they all operate exactly the same, so that's important. Take it slow. Just learn, ask a lot of questions. People get to the range, try out. The best things you can do, other than watching our videos, one of the very best things you can do is get to a really good rental range, and preferably maybe after you've narrowed it down. You've got some models that you think, I think that one sounds good. I know so-and-so has that. He likes it. He's recommended that one. You make a list of 5 or 6 and rent those things and shoot them. It would be money well spent. I mean, really well spent. Because sometimes what feels good, you just pick it up in a gun shop. Yeah, that feels good. I'll take that. Well, maybe. Might recoil more than you thought. It might not feel the same when you actually fire it. Or it might feel great, but you don't shoot it as well as another gun that maybe doesn't feel as great, but you shoot it better. And it might be easier to carry, if that's what you're going for. So it really is a complex thing. Yeah, I'm sorry. It's not easy. It's not easy. Like picking out, it's not so much like picking out cell phones now. They're all kind of similar, I guess. But anyway, hopefully some of the videos that we have up can be of benefit to you, and you can learn from those as well as the other YouTubers. There's a lot of good videos out there, and I don't think it takes long for you to kind of determine as you're bouncing around YouTube to see if it's the kind of video that will help you, or if it's on a topic that you want to learn about, or if the person turns you off, or whatever it might be. You can learn pretty quickly. So I would highly recommend YouTube. I mean, my gosh, I don't have to tell you that. I use it all the time for research, just on anything. I mean, I'll get a new firearm in, and I'll be out here, not even have my computer around, of course. Well, let's see. I don't know with the the PS90, I had to do that. Yeah, I did. I thought I knew how to do it, but I checked anyway. I just looked up a video on my phone, disassembly PS90 or something like that, to make sure I didn't damage it, somebody else's firearm. And I do that quite often. It could even be a firearm I just haven't shot for a long time, and I forgot how you field strip that thing. What, like a Makarov or something, where you pull the trigger guard down or some different weird stuff. And I mean, it's a fingertip click away, that kind of information. So use the resources, and don't be turned off if you run into somebody in a gun shop or at a gun show that is really kind of obnoxious and impatient with you. Just go somewhere else. Do not do business with somebody that's really not helpful. They don't ask you a lot of questions. If they don't ask you anything, they just start recommending guns. That's not good either. They need to know. That's why it's hard for me to help you online very much. And a lot of my answers are very short when I do. Well, I'm trying to decide. Lots of times I'll just answer. Well, of those, I like the Glock 19. Or I can't get into a gigantic exchange with a million different people. Well, tell me what do you like to carry? Or how do you normally dress? Do you want an outside the waistband holster? Or do you think you want an inside? Have you ever tried an inside the waistband holster? Are you going to carry it? Or are you not? I need a million questions to add, not a million, but 10 or 12 questions to even ask before I can even think about what I'd recommend. And then it might not be something you would like. But there's some good guns out there, especially for carry these days. If you're in this country, legal to carry. Single stack 9s, of course, are really popular now, and boy, there's some excellent ones. And then little micro 380, pocket pistols, which could be carried on a belt too. There's, oh man, you have your Shields, your Glock 42, 43s, the LC9s, the little cars, the little Springfields, Rugers. I mean, there's just some really nice firearms. There's some great choices out there. Try not to go too cheap. And you'll probably be happy for it, because you probably end up trading it anyway, for something you like better. So a better gun will hold its value. You know that. What else was I going to talk about? Let's see, gun. Did I have anything else? Oh, one thing. Oh yeah, I pulled this off the wall over there too. That you might. It's a little dusty. How's that? How's that for a professional picture? I don't know if you can see that or not. But that's my 1884. And an 1884 silver dollar with the 1884 Colt. Okay? It might be, if that's working for you or not there. I took that a long time ago. It's been, about 15 years ago, I guess. So anyway, it's just hanging in a barn. Nothing special other than it's just one of my favorite revolvers. And some big old 45 Colt cartridges beside it there. I guess I pulled off enough stuff here that kind of nice to be back in the reloading room. Again, this is my home away from home. This is the man cave. John and I hang out here a lot. Well, we don't hang out necessarily. We're here, getting ready for a video, talking about a video, or waiting for light to get right, and we're getting a firearm ready or cleaning firearms. Just working it out, disassembling in here maybe, and figuring out how something works. Not just before the video, but we're back and forth all the time. Here the range is just right. I could throw a rock, and hit the shooting table if the wall weren't there. Okay, and so quite often as we shoot a firearm, the days before we're going to do a video with it, I'll shoot it that morning when it gets late enough to shoot. I don't shoot before 10 o'clock. Just out of courtesy to neighbors across the trees, and so it'll be dirty. And John will come in and he'll shoot it some more, and then before we do a video, we'll come in here and I'll clean it one last time, make sure it's lubed and cleaned properly for consistency as much as anything. We don't do a lot of torture tests of firearms. I know a lot of people do that. They, I've got this gun. I haven't cleaned it for 1,000 rounds. I'm kind of testing, see how it does. I don't do that. I don't really like to own a gun, especially. Don't even review much junk. I assume the gun's going to work, and so for consistency's sake, I want every firearm to start out in a video, relatively clean and lubed, with the same lube. I use Ballistol, the same lube, and so they're all starting from the same point. So if we have a malfunction in a video, it prints. We don't edit it out. So I don't want any inconsistencies there. Like, well, this firearm, we get 500,000 views or something on that video, or 1 million, or whatever, or 100,000, whatever it is. And it makes that gun look really bad because it didn't work right. Just because, oh yeah, I forgot, I'd fired that a few hundred times and I never even checked the lubrication on it. I never cleaned it really, and I think it might have been kind of dry even when I got it. Well, that's kind of dumb, So we want them all starting out the same point. So if there is a problem, it's a gun problem. It's not a lube problem, a dirt problem, or anything like that. If there is other extenuating circumstances, I'll always let you know. So that's kind of a little inside baseball, I guess. But we spend a lot of time. I've got some snakes hanging over there, boar snakes. I use those on rifles almost exclusively. Then use a regular rod on a handgun. I keep 2 here that work for about everything. I've got a little blue tape on one because I ain't too smart. Well, actually, I can't even see the tip, so I pull it out. I know that's the large caliber, and this is a 9, 357, 38, whatever, even a 40. It'll work for. And this is 45. Anything 45. I think that'll also work for a 10 millimeter too. Depends on the size of the patch, that kind of thing. So I keep 2 cleaning rods, and they cover just about everything except for 22, or you get a 17 HMR. You got problems there. But and some handy screwdrivers of all sizes. You see those on the shooting table occasionally. I like these old wooden ones. I've got some nice gunsmithing sets of screwdrivers and things, but I just like these. I think Grace makes these, and I'm not sure they're all kind of the same, hollow ground. Just nice screwdrivers in various sizes. I use those all the time. Every time I come into the barn, probably. There's a couple of them. That's a nice standard, a good size, for just assembling a Colt single action, for example, or something. But this one here is just perfect. I don't know if they have sizes on them for so many things. And like grips, on a Smith & Wesson or a Colt or something. And when I need something really small, then this baby comes in handy. But anyway, you end up not boogering up your screws if you have some good screwdrivers. So you want to keep those handy. Hell, it's got me a new oil can. I got that at a flea market. I got Ballistol in it. That thing is old. I cleaned it up, and it's kind of neat. I like old things like that, oil cans. And it takes me back to the old days. I'm old enough to, I remember when that's the only kind of oil can people had. Dad always had one of those around. I always thought it was cool how it worked. But so anyway, I guess, I'll probably yacked at you long enough here. So it's good to see you again in the reloading room. I'm glad that all of you crowded in here. I didn't really know when I first started doing this if 1,000 or 10,000 or 40,000 people would fit in this one room. But it turns out you do pretty well, at least well enough. So I'm glad you fit in here to hear my ramblings and my meanderings about some non-essential things, and maybe a couple of essential things, or at least more important things. I don't know. So glad to have the new folks on board. Again, we don't shoot in this video. It's just for me to talk at you. And this is actually what some people consider an upgrade, because I used to just stand here and record my voice and just talk and then post it. Okay, called it a radio show. And we still do radio shows at meet and greets and that kind of thing. And John's more into that now, and I'm on his show sometimes on the Hickok 45 and Son channel. So he does one there about weekly, with Derek and other people and interviews. And so you get, you new folks, you don't know John, go to the Hickok 45 and Son channel. John, my partner and the camera guy and everything, we do everything together. And he's 27, so you get a different perspective from him. I'm trying to get him to do more videos in the main channel too, and get him on camera more often, because I think he's pretty good at it, and he likes the same approach that we both take the same approach basically. We don't try to scream at you, be dramatic. We just mostly talk in our normal voices and just honest about our impressions of a firearm. Okay, that's what we get. One of my pet peeves are people and I may get into that mode occasionally a little bit, just because if you know you've got a microphone, camera, you project a little bit because you want to make sure people hear you, right? And I get a little silly at times, but I just always have had a problem with people that that come on board. Like if I came out here, hey everybody, this is the Hickok 45 radio show. We're going to address a lot of topics today, and we're glad you're here. Get into this weird voice that because they hear sports talk people or their newscaster talk like that, or their preacher, and they think that you've got to talk like that in order to convince people of anything or something. I don't know. Doesn't convince me. When John's the same way, it's funny. I mean, it's an extreme turnoff for both him and me. Always has been for me and him, really. When somebody gets into that mode where they're trying to convince me of something by elevating and sounding like they belong on the radio or something, I don't know. So anyway, we just try to be ourselves, and that may not be good enough because we're pretty weird. But I'm glad you came in today. It's been fun to talk to you. You've been kind of quiet again. That's why I really like it. Nobody argues with me. That's what I ought to do in these shooting the breezes. I should. What is this, number 8, I think, maybe? I should bring up all these controversial things and get really dramatic and make you mad, because I can just sit here and expound and you can't argue with me very much. Of course, you could kill me in comments, couldn't you? No, like I said, we're not very dramatic, and our goal is not to be edgy. John's a little different than I am, of course. He's from a couple of generations, younger than I am. But that's one thing I think is good about getting his perspective on things on the other channel, on this channel, and then even about the firearms and whatever, because, we are, let's see. Yeah, he's a lot younger than I am. Okay, quite a bit. So, hope you come back. Check out some of the videos. Search the channel. You can just, in the bar there, you can go to the channel and search and put in 1911 or Ruger LC9 or whatever, and it'll pull up the videos. Here I am giving you the information from FAQ video 54. You should watch it. The FAQ videos are an attempt to answer frequently asked questions in a more entertaining way. They're really, rather than just have a list. Yeah, go read that page. Like you'll do that. So early on we started doing that. There's about 65 or so of those things, and they're all just about a minute long. So you go to the playlist, and now that playlist is pretty much up to date, I think. And you can just go through those. You can machine gun through them. Plus you can scroll through them, and you can see the topic, because we put the topic generally in the title, like FAQ 23, FAQ 54, searching a YouTube channel or whatever. So you can see, like, did I serve in the military? How old am I? How far away is the gong, or whatever, So you can just tell whether there's enough. You don't have to watch them all to get the specific information you want. So anyway, again, we appreciate all of you more than you can know, because you've given us this job, and we get a lot of stuff to work with. We've got great sponsors in Bud's Gun Shop and Federal Premium Cartridges, SDI, the Sonoran Desert Institute. So we have smart sponsors, sponsors that make sense, that keep us from being in anybody's pocket, and enable us to do almost whatever we need to do and want to do. So it's great. We appreciate your support of our sponsors when it makes sense. Maybe you hate Federal Ammo. I don't know. Or maybe one of our sponsors. Sorry about that, but they're really good to us, and they're all good companies. We know the people inside those companies pretty well and communicate with them regularly, and they're good folks at Buds and Federal, SDI. Well, except for Zeke, of course, right? If you know Zeke. That was a joke. Okay, I'm going to let you go. See, when you're in a room by yourself, even though all of you are here, you're sort of like phantoms. It's kind of like really you're not here. So a person can get strange when he's in a room by himself. Life is good.